High five.
Packers jumping around. They rush 4. Plenty of time for John. Now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. LA can run. He's got the 10. Head first. He falls off the 5-yard line.
Manning out of the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning.
Rushing 4, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground and still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line.
Here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stiff arm got him 3 to the 30. To the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first.
Nothing wrong with Orange and Blue Podcast.
What is up, Broncos country? Hey, NRW crew. What's up, MHRT fam? And welcome to another awesome episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue Podcast on MHRT Network. I'm your host, Johnny Bonke. With me, as always, my best friend in the world, godfather to my kids, and my co-host, Isaiah Pookie Knight Henderson. And
what up, party people?
And the man, the myth, the legend himself from predominantly Orange and the mainly Broncos podcast, Mr. Cameron Parker. What's up, buddy?
Oh, it feels so good to be back here. I mean, it feels like it's been 5 years, so to speak.
It's been a while since you've been
welcome back.
This one.
Yeah,
you've been perpetually on MHRT a bunch.
I know.
But
and so
but you haven't been back with us on Nothing Rhymes for a while, so it's good to have you back.
I know it's no wonder I decided to stump the fact that you had the best beard on MHRT. So I mean, I had to get in one way or another.
Right. I mean, Mundungus continues. He continues to beat this drum about a poll he put up at some point last year. They got like 8 votes that apparently voted him as having the best beard on MHRT. Which, of course, we all know he just had all of his kids vote, and that's how he won.
Well, the important thing too to remember is I didn't vote, so I didn't have an opinion on the matter. So, I mean, again, like the best beard, I mean, goes to Johnny. So,
well, you heard him.
Absolutely.
The poll is over. Johnny is the beard champion of the world.
It's cue up the Vince Carter meme. It's over. It's over.
Awesome. So how have you been, Cam? It's just in general.
I'm doing good. I'm just plugging away with all of the content that has been provided. I actually recently, within this last week, pumped out a quarterback top 5 as far as this draft class. I know it's really early, but I went ahead and I ranked the top 5 quarterbacks of this upcoming class, and so a lot of work that got put in. Lost a lot of sleep, but we're in the process of getting that sleep back. So, but overall, we're doing things really well as far as content and everything. So, and plus, nothing gets quite better than having a Super Bowl that you really don't have a true rooting interest in. With my whole Nebraska ties, and then of course Von Miller out there,
Sure.
balling with the Los Angeles Rams. So it's like this is like the lone time that I can remember of a Super Bowl where I could care less who wins. Just
exactly.
I get to just sit on my couch, get fat, watch commercials, enjoy these commercials, so.
No, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm mostly just excited that 1, the Chiefs aren't in it, and 2, Tom Brady's not in it. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't have to care
and you root for both quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks
right.
are great guys that we want to see. Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, but Von Miller is on that other side, and I don't know. I mean, I really like Joe Burrow, but I don't think that Cincinnati offensive line can hold up against that Rams pass.
And also, how big of a sort of a screw you would it be for Odell Beckham Jr. to win a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams, knowing all the hoopla that had gone on with the Cleveland Browns and saying, "Oh, Odell was the problem," and and he can finally put that to bed. I mean, he's already pretty much put it to bed anyway. But it's just like once you put that ring on your finger, it's pretty self-explanatory at that point.
Well,
Isaiah, so how's your week been, Isaiah?
It's still going. So it's still going.
All right, well,
it is. I mean, I had drill this past weekend, so unfortunately I had to get up early every day, and then to turn around and go back to work the next week. So haven't had an opportunity to sleep in. I don't sleep in because I have to get up. I normally wake up early because my body's used to it. But
I don't even know what sleeping in is anymore.
I just want to know that I can sleep in if I wanted to. And
cry me a river.
I had work this Saturday. I got overtime this Saturday. But Sunday,
what is sleeping in anymore?
Exactly, right? I have kids.
I'm up at 0-5 every day. So 0-5, my body wakes up, whether it's work or not. So I usually just get up and clean on the weekends when my wife sleeps. I don't know how she does it. She has to be work at 8. She gets up at 6:45. But for some reason, on weekends, she doesn't get up till like 10. I don't know how she does that. I can't do that.
Yeah, well, Anyway, hey, everybody. Welcome to Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on MHRT Network. We are a fan-led, Broncos-based podcast that goes live every Thursday at 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, hit that like button. Come on, it's the big thumbs up. It's hard to miss. Hit that like button, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you know when we're going live, and share the video out there to your friends so we can continue to build the family. Don't miss our other show on Tuesdays, the MHRT Podcast with Mundungus Creevy, Glenn Hauser, Mr. Boggins, and Richie Rich. And sometimes we get Bree. Bree0322 on Twitter on there as well. We have a lot of fun with that one. Huh?
Soul Taker.
Soul Taker. Yeah, the what was it? The goth queen of Broncos country. Yeah,
exactly.
And then on Wednesdays, we are now uploading Broncos Breakdown with Bronco Bill. Don't miss those either. You're gonna love them. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's jump into the comments real quick. We already have Mobad in the house saying salutations, everyone. Avatar, what's up, Broncos country? This Super Bowl will be interesting. Yeah, EJ's in the house saying what's up, Broncos country. He also says NRW crew, what it do? Let's see. We got Dave Glassman, Dave Full Glassman in the house saying yo. That's probably the shortest message I think I've ever seen from Dave Glassman. 2 letters.
Full Glassman.
Mundungus says, so used to seeing Cam with a hat on. I got to say your 5 head is blinding. Oh, that's that. I mean, dude, that was snap.
It's okay. This is why we wear hats, 99% of the time.
I have a full head of hair.
This is also why I'm currently doing some hair products so I can regain this hair.
You didn't have to let the whole world know that one. Shadow Jacker says this one's for Vaughn.
Exactly.
There you go. Did you just imagine if they call John Elway up to the podium to have him hold that up and say that? That'd be
actually that would be George Payton. Like, just give it to George Payton and then have George Payton just say this one was for fun. Yeah.
Right?
So EJ says I'm with the Vonster. I want the Vonster to win his second ring and Mr. Aaron Donald to win the ring. The thing about the Rams and the Bengals about the Super Bowl is that you root for both guys on both ends of the field. I mean, you got Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Odell Beckham Jr., Matthew Stafford, Cam Akers, who came back from injury, or you got Tyler Boyd, TJ Uzuma, who got injured, or Jamar Chase, or Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. You got all these guys on both sides of the field that you really can't, it's hard to root against, especially as a Broncos fan.
It really is.
Yeah, so you're like, hey, either, like Cameron said, either I can just sit back and like these playoffs, even though the Broncos weren't in it, which was the worst part about it, this was the most exciting playoffs I've ever watched. I watched every playoff game. I was just able to just sit back and just enjoy football.
That divisional round, man. Oh my God. I've never seen so much like intense, just all around football.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of, it's a weird comparison, but it was one of the divisional round, especially, was one of the most exciting round of football I've ever can recall. Like it's a weird comparison because it's a completely different sport, but it reminded me so much of March Madness. Like, you have kind of like how you get, just everything from start to finish, like just clutch moment after clutch moment. In particular, now granted, you can't single out, any game, but in particular that Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills game, like that was like the epitome of like what you would have wanted to ask for as far as a true football game. Obviously,
you couldn't script it any better.
I mean, unless you're a Broncos fan. I mean, then the end result is sort of devastating. But it's just like, but still, like, but you're looking at it objectively, like that is a just incredible football game. And then you have the San Francisco 49ers. They go up against the Green Bay Packers in the snow in Lambeau Field. But I think that the fact that was so remarkable that game was like they were up 10-0. Like Green Bay was up 10-0, and then the moment just completely flipped the script when they blocked the punt basically. And so it's just like you had fantastic games from start to finish and in different fashions. That was just the other part that was just so incredible to me was with that division around. But right. And also, it made it easier for the Broncos to contact Aaron Rodgers if he wants to come here.
That's right. When Duncan says that I put all the hair product on my chin, hence the Viking beard.
So that's the beard bomb.
Yeah, that's right. I do want to point out, Mundungus, that both Cam and Mobad here both say I have the best beard. I think we need to redo that poll, bud. I really do, because they're turning against you. I'm just saying. Anyway, we have a Don in the house. It's been a while since we've seen a Don, host of Broncos Talk.
What's up, Don?
He says, hi, taking a break from Uber driving. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, y'all, if you haven't already.
Don't text and drive it,
Don. The tallest Uber driver in the world.
Don't text and drive it, Don.
Yeah, I mean, I just picture Don. He's a 6'10" Mexican driving an Uber, but he has to have a sunroof so his head can stick out the top. He drives up as looking like one of those little Fisher Price toy cars with the huge person in the tiny car. And he's like, I'm your Uber. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this Super Bowl. I'm really excited about it, only because, strictly, like you said, because I'm not invested in this one. Like, for the first time ever, I'm not sitting here going, God, I want Tom Brady to lose, or I'm not. The Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah,
it's just a game at this point. To me, it's just a game.
Yeah, I'm making my world famous wings, the best wings that anybody's ever had. On Sunday.
You shut your mouth.
Johnny.
Excuse me, Johnny. Your lips
Excuse me, Johnny.
You are so wrong. It's not even funny.
Okay. World's second favorite bets.
Let the jealousy flow through you, Johnny.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand though. Like when I first met Isaiah and I invited him over for the Broncos game, I made my personal buffalo wings recipe, and it kept Isaiah coming back to my house like 5 days a week asking if I was going to make wings.
So that's why he's a regular appearance at your house.
Okay. It has nothing to do with Johnny's character.
Now he's getting a little bit big for his britches because he figured out how to cook a few things, and now he thinks he can outcook me, and it's hysterical.
This guy. Hey guys, fill us up in the comments and tell us what you're cooking or some good things to cook for Super Bowl. I'm going to the store tomorrow when I get off work before I come over there, Johnny. So just let us know what you guys are cooking.
So what you're saying is you didn't plan anything. So you're trying to steal from other people's ideas. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, because I will admit that because I love cooking. My in-laws got me an apron and have like a spice rack, and I really do love cooking. But
called me a few weeks ago to ask me about how to make ribs right.
I've gotten better
By the way, how'd those
cooking
turn out?
Things I know how to cook. Oh, they were absolutely terrible. I've gotten better at things I know how to cook. But now I want to learn something new. And I honestly, I don't even think they were ribs. I forgot what it said on the package, and I tried to cook them like ribs, and they came out terrible. And I gave it to the dog.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You can come over. We'll have Cam fly out to Tennessee, and I'll make my my fall off the bone ribs.
And then the dog crapped all over the place. So.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So the Super Bowl, I'm excited. Everybody's excited. It's the Super Bowl. I'm actually, lately, the past few years, I haven't been excited at all about halftime.
Yeah.
But I'm actually kind of pumped about this halftime.
Yeah.
They try to make it very nostalgic. That's what if you notice what they're doing.
I love nostalgia.
Hollywood's trying to make everything nostalgic. They're remaking old movies and some movies do not need remakes, but they're trying to. You see, they're coming out with a new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, and I didn't want to know that.
Yes. So my wife it popped up on her thing, and I heard something about Bel-Air. I said, "What is that?" She's like, "It is called Bel-Air, and they're remaking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with none of the original actors."
That's not okay at all.
Look at Cam's face.
That's like when I heard the announcement. That's like when I heard the announcement, 5-6 years back, that they were going to remake Back to the Future with Justin Bieber playing Marty McFly.
Did they cancel that or something? Because I've never
heard
of
that. Yes, they did, because the entire universe told Fox that they would boycott Fox forever if they remade Back to the Future with Justin Bieber.
That's like that's like doing Dumb and Dumber 15 years later and doing Dumb and Dumber 2. Like, you can't
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is different. Jim Carrey was an absolute great character, but I think we have a couple characters presently who it won't be as good. The original will always be better.
Right, but it's like they did Dumb and Dumber 2, both Carrey and Daniels, and it completely flopped, and so it was terrible. It was just so terrible. So it's just I don't know. I can't get behind this whole, especially when you have something that's like nostalgic and legendary as like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or like
Back to the Future,
or Back to the Future, or what are we gonna Saved by the Bell is now being redone.
So is Cheaper by the Dozen. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
With Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union. First of all, and I'm taking this from Mario. I saw this on Twitter, and I agree with him. You trying to tell me that Zach Braff can pull Gabrielle Union? Are you kidding me?
I mean, to give Steve Martin credit, Steve Martin's version was a remake,
and it was good,
but it was really good.
Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union.
I know, yeah.
The guy from Scrubs.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle Union. No.
Hot take, Johnny. The new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, wait. You said hot take? Hot take? Hot take.
The new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to be better than the original.
How dare you? You're out. No, you're out. You're out of here.
Didn't he just praise about how terrible it was to be like this?
I know we are so off topic, Broncos country. I know we're so off topic. But Isaiah, when I met you, you literally worshipped the ground that Will Smith walked on.
That's the irony. Yes. Before I became a born again Christian,
all over your barracks room.
Yes. Before I became a born again Christian, I worshipped the ground Will Smith walked on. When I was in high school, I had his resume. His IMDb was in my binder. Like, you put it on your thing. So I used to write Will Smith on my paper as my names. So when teachers would grade the papers and pass them back out, they would see Will Smith on it, and they knew it was me. It was really, really,
I'm just trying to.
Ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And the fact that you even threw out there a hot take that the new Fresh Prince can be better than Will Smith's Fresh Prince, you just. I ought to come down there and sew your lips.
It's clearly a joke.
I'm just trying to circle back, because here's Isaiah talking about how you can't mess with nostalgia, and you can't mess with all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden just very casually, he just goes, hot take, by the way,
spew vomit out of my mouth.
Not good. Okay, so hey, Carolyn Braxton in the comments.
Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Good to see you, Miss Carolyn. It is good to see you. Let's see. We have. I saw.
Mundunga said they did a remake of Walker, Texas Ranger.
They did, and it's
who did they use for that?
Jared Padalecki from Supernatural and Gilmore Girls.
I mean,
see, I think if they did remakes, EJ actually comes in. I think if they did remakes but casted the proper characters, you could it could be better. EJ says the new Fresh Prince looks fire. Is that sarcasm?
You'll have to let me know, EJ. I can't do it.
Is that sarcasm or is that true? Because I didn't see the trailer. My wife saw it. I just know that Fresh Prince. I mean, like the scene where his dad leaves and he cries, and you can't remake that.
All right, so since we're obviously going back and doing so many remakes here, can we just go back and remake the last 6 years of Broncos football?
Yes,
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, where do I sign? I mean,
2017 to 2021, part two.
Well, no, let's start first with April. Let's start first with April. Right. And not drafting Paxton Lynch. Let's or sorry, that was 2016. Let's start first with 2016 because that's when Paxton Lynch happened. Let's start there, and then we'll make sure we selected Dak Prescott, and then we'll make sure we selected, probably maybe Ryan Ramczyk at that point. Although Garrett Bowles seems to be turning out just fine, but
Really
turn
that dude around.
So, no, yeah. Where do I sign? You got the DeLorean out front?
Shadow Jacker. I'm going snorkeling in a bathtub full of jungle juice this Sunday. Let's go,
Jungle juice,
dude! I want it. Oh man,
Video or it didn't happen.
Really?
Picture didn't happen.
Yep. We need timestamps and everything. You
can go back and record this show. So this show's recorded, so we need to know.
Yeah, for real. No, I actually have to work and watch the Super Bowl while I'm at work.
Sunday's my only day off because Saturday I have to get back up and go to Smyrna. Johnny, you know what that means. This lady texted, the lady at the other site asked me if I wanted to work a 12-hour shift.
And if you're watching from Smyrna,
no, this is Saturday.
I'm not actually sorry.
This is Saturday.
But you know.
This is Saturday. So Saturday I have to work overtime, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some extra money. But Valentine's Day is coming up, you guys.
Yes, it is.
Getting off topic. Me and Johnny and I already discussed what our plans are. I'm getting the wife a new ring. Johnny and his wife are,
we're going out for a nice dinner. We haven't had a Valentine's Day together, me and my wife, in 7 years, just the two of us. So we're going out. We're going out to dinner. It'll be nice.
I've missed every Valentine's Day. I've been with my wife for 4 years, and I have never taken Valentine's Day serious, not one time.
I mean, to be fair, it is a fake holiday, but
yes, but she cares a lot about it. So this is my year to make it up because for some reason, and being in the Army, I don't care about you miss a lot of holidays. So I'm debating between making gumbo or
EJ says he's debating between making gumbo or jambalaya for the Super Bowl meal. Ooh, both are delicious.
It is Black History Month.
Both are Cajun. Like, which one are you gonna? I mean,
it is Black History Month, so.
You're right. It is. I would go with jambalaya. EJ, I was
going to say gumbo.
I'm going gumbo.
I'd say gumbo.
All right. Well, there you go, EJ. I was outvoted. It's 2-1. So gumbo it is. If you're accepting our votes today, Cam, what are you doing for Valentine's Day, brother?
My Valentine is going to be Dutch Bros on February 14th. Going to visit Dutch Bros and go buy myself some coffee.
There you go.
All right.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, treat yourself, my friend.
Treat yourself.
That's right.
Let's see here. I mean, moving on from the Super Bowl for now. We can talk. We can come back to it at the end there to discuss, predictions and all that. But it is exciting. It's Super Bowl week. And I can't wait to watch a game that we're, like you said, Cam, we're not invested in.
No, we're totally not invested in. And I think that's going to be, aside from like just the overall fan perspective, it's really good just from a reporter or just like an objective viewer. Like if you're someone like in the football business or something, it makes it even that much more fitting that you're watching something that you can be just totally immersed in objectively. Like you can objectively be like, oh, that was pass interference, like that was a really horrendous call, or that, the Zach Taylor should have called this play, so I think, it's going to be one of those things that, even objectively, you're going to be appreciating a lot of talent that is on the football field. I mean, and I think that from the Rams' perspective, they are a little bit more talented than the Cincinnati Bengals. The thing with the thing with the Cincinnati Bengals is that like the Bengals are just hitting on like all cylinders, and the Bengals have been a team. Or I never really had said it here, but I had said it on the Mainly Broncos podcast before. But I was really, really high on the Cincinnati Bengals, even just like a year ago. As far as I didn't. I wasn't necessarily going all out and saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl or anything, but that they were going to start competing with a playoff spot because of the fact that the AFC North was so open, and the fact that you had so much fluctuation within that division, and then you already have your guy basically in Joe Burrow. What I didn't know is that they would go out and draft a guy that would continue on that chemistry with Jamar Chase, who's turned out to be clearly the offensive rookie of the year and blown
Except
out.
for when he played against the Broncos.
Pat Surtain locked him up.
That's right. Right.
Basically put him in Alcatraz and he couldn't get out. I mean,
put him in quarantine. Nothing in.
Right.
Nothing out.
Right. But no, and so basically, like once he came in, it's like it transformed that entire offense to where, honestly, call it a hot take and call it objective, whatever you want.
He said it.
The Bengals wide receiving core is better than the Broncos wide receiving core.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
No. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. At least
I said this. This leads to my point, and I said this, and you said the Rams are more talented. But what I was going to say about the Bengals was and I've compared them to the Broncos a lot all year. They're young and hungry.
Yeah.
They just have the right coaches and the right players in the right spots.
I think they just had
Jamar Chase,
at the
Joe
right
Burrow,
moment.
and they drafted Joe Burrow's offensive lineman that lifted him up. So they got the LSU players and surrounded them. Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, TJ Uzama. No, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think
as of this moment, do I think the Broncos have the potential to have a very similar,
better? Yeah.
Or better? Yeah, they have the potential.
Yes, they do.
They've shown they are.
Because we have not locked up the quarterback situation, we don't know.
Exactly, and that's my point. That's strictly my point with Johnny.
I agree with that.
Because of the fact that the quarterback position has not been locked up, and you have Jerry Judy, who's been starving to have a 1,500-yard year.
Didn't even have a touchdown this last season.
Oh my god.
I mean, we're talking about a wide receiving core that truly has the makings to be one of the best in the National Football League, but we're not seeing it because of the fact that one large glaring need of this football team has been missing for 6 years, and it's been a revolving door.
What was that, Isaiah?
Hot take. Not a hot take. Too late. Whatever. Too late. Whatever. I think you get this team a quarterback. I think Jerry Judy's the best receiver on that team.
I said it before, and I will say it again. I think that when you think about I feel like the hot take that I had last season, coming into the season, it did still ring true. But at the same time, it was just like I didn't think it would come down this way. But I do think that Jerry Judy has the makings of getting a lot more yardage than Courtland Sutton. But Sutton will have a lot more touchdowns just because of the whole red zone presence. That said, though, I can very much see Jerry Judy having a Cooper Kupp type of impact with this type of offense. If you
took the words, why do we bring him on the show, Johnny? If he's just going to steal what I'm going to say,
because he's our brother.
Because I'm better than you.
Oh dang! Oh,
Cam, you took the words right out of my mouth, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Because I was thinking a statistic came out of all receivers in the NFL. Jerry Judy created the most separation yards from any receiver in the NFL, average of 2.5 yards. Average of 2 in the NFL, 2.5 yard separation. That's a Mack truck can drive through that. And you put a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson that can thread those needles. Oh my! And I agree with you 100%. Cooper Kupp numbers easy, blown out the water. I'm talking about the number one receiver in the.
I'm going to say it right now. This is why this game this Sunday is going to be so hard. My two favorite non-Broncos players that have not been on the Broncos before, because people have actually called me out on that, are Cooper Kupp and Joe Burrow.
And both
and that. So I mean that actually, and get ready because I've got something for that later.
But, in the black community. But Joe Burrow and Cooper Kupp have both been invited to the cookout.
Dang! Wait, in East LA?
No, the cookout. Johnny, do you know what the cookout is? The cookout it's a metaphorical meeting of where all the black people go to meet, and then only certain non-black people get invited. You have to pass.
You got to pass. Isaiah, would I make your cookout?
It's not only up to me. It has to be a overall consensus. And
Okay, all right. Well, you know me. You know me. You've known me a long time.
Yeah,
and you know how I am.
It's one person
I'd be
can't
there.
just vouch for you. It has to be, you
I'd
know,
be
it
there.
has to be like
I'd be there. I know I would.
For example, Cooper Kupp is invited to the cookout because he's raw. Joe Burrow is invited because Joe Burrow has swag. And I said this before, and somebody else said no, but I'm going to take this. I'm wrong with it. Joe Burrow is the Joe Namath of our generation.
You know, I'm not going to go with Namath, but I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, and I had a comparison for Joe Burrow because he's so difficult to bring down. That I honestly think that Joe Burrow is Tony Romo on steroids.
I see the similarities in play.
I think that, well, again, if you look at it in particular, if you go look at the Kansas City game, the way that he is and tough as nails as he is, and as a runner, I feel like, you know, you see the way that he evades people. I think that he's overall got just a little bit better skill set to blend with. And I think that if you blend his IQ, his high intelligence, as far as, you know, with the overall sense of what he has at the quarterback position, he is absolutely a guy that could very well be the next greatest thing at the quarterback position.
Let me clarify. When I said Joe Burrow is the next Joe Namath, I wasn't saying in regards to
you were comparing him. It's fine.
Ability. I was saying in regards to the swag when they come up. When you remember Joe Namath?
Oh yeah.
That fur coat
jacket, yeah.
He was a guy in the media. He was in New York. Everybody loved him. He was a first-round draft pick. There's only 3 people that's won the national championship, first-round draft pick, and gone to the Super Bowl. That's Joe Namath, Joe Montana, and Joe Burrow. So they have that in common, in addition to their names, in addition to their swag, and the media loves them. That's why I said Joe Burrow is the Joe Namath of our of our generation. In the interview, they were like, "Hey, is that those diamonds on his necklace real?" He's like, "I get paid too much for it not to be." Like, come on now, come on now.
Whatever. I'd still be at the cookout. I know I would.
If I can get more of the black community to vouch for you, but I think Travis Kelce is invited to the cookout, and homeboy from the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero.
All right. Well, all right. Let me ask you this: what white guy on the Broncos is invited to the cookout, if any?
Drew Lock.
I was gonna say Drew Lock. He's spitting that young Jeezy on the sideline.
Let me take a step back. That's me personally, and there has to be a pretty much
not Garrett Bowles.
I thought about Garrett Bowles first.
Hey, dude, you know, when I actually got to hang out with Garrett Bowles 4 weeks back, and like I spent a good amount of time with him. That dude's pretty thug, dude. Some of the things he says and the way he talks, that guy is pretty thug, man. He's crazy.
I'd say, I think Nikola Jokic would be invited to the cookout.
100%, absolutely.
Not only is he a great basketball, he's just a hard.
He's the best quarterback. He's the best quarterback in Denver. Let's be real.
Who'd you say?
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic.
Hey, dude, Nikola Jokic is awesome.
Yeah.
Jokic is anybody. First of all, like getting off the Broncos for a second, but just sticking with Denver sports. Anybody who thinks that Nikola Jokic is not currently putting up the numbers he should be for the reigning NBA MVP, go look at them stats. Go look at them stats and tell me that there's somebody more deserving of a back-to-back NBA MVP.
I am telling you, this is a weird comparison, but it makes a lot of sense. Nikola Jokic reminds me somewhat of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not a guy that you look at and be like, oh, you know what? This guy is, very athletic. He's a guy that's going to just break a rim, or he's going to break the glass, or he's just going to be, overall, if he, just blow the doors off of just pure athleticism. I mean, no, the guy is just incredibly smart, and he does things so unorthodox the way he plays that it's just like.
But he does it so smooth.
He does it smooth.
So smooth.
Yeah, his vision is
the vision is incredible.
I've very Ricky Rubio, Steve Nash.
Who was it? Joe.
He's better than all those guys.
What's his
Lombardi on altitude?
He used to
Magic
play
Johnson, Larry Bird.
He used to play for was it not Jason Kidd? It was the
While you think of that, let me make this quick point.
What was
Joe Lombardi on Altitude TV. I know you know who he is, Cam.
Vic Lombardi.
Vic Lombardi. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said
Okay, I'll let it slide.
Vic Lombardi. Oh my gosh. Please, Denver sports gods, forgive me.
Joe Lombardi is the offensive coordinator with the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll let it slide.
That's why. Thank you. Vic Lombardi. I remember hearing him say once that Nikola Jokic plays so smooth that it looks like he's slow.
Yeah,
but again, you watch him and it looks like he's moving like at slug rate.
But the thing that is just so unbelievably amazing about Denver sports right now, and I wish that people would understand this, and it's a Broncos town, but currently as it sits right now, being on the local scene, is that you have a Nuggets player in Nikola Jokic and an Avs player in Nathan McKinnon, who are two of the best players in Denver sports. And there's some fair
jerseys for both of them pinned above me right now.
There's fair arguments for both, but Nikola Jokic, the fact that he has the ability to think 1 and 2 and even 3 steps ahead of every single person on the court is one of the greatest reasons why he is one of the best players that will ever step foot on an NBA court. He is the best passing big man that I have ever seen. My dad, honestly, my dad has compared him a little bit to Larry Bird, and my dad is
insane.
Which is insane. I mean, because that is some very lofty praise, and he's a guy that he can shoot the daylights out of the basketball. He's a mixture in some ways of Dirk Nowitzki when he does his soundboard shuffle.
I mean, I never caught that comparison, but that's beautiful.
But it's something that I think that a lot of people, when you compare Nikola Jokic to just a lot of people, it is unorthodox. And so comparing him to Tom Brady is just this liking of just like,
look at him, he's made the triple-double a household name.
Well, not necessarily. He and Russell Westbrook was
and LeBron too.
And LeBron were big, but no one has ever seen the type of numbers though from a big man's perspective, putting up
someone his size for sure.
From his size and intangibles, the way that Nikola Jokic is done.
Jumping up in here real quick, Mundungus said that he gets invited to the cookout, Isaiah, because he did all the leftovers, less mess.
Well, he is fat, so.
Yeah, well, so am I. I mean, this is
you're big bone.
It is legit.
He's fat.
You're right.
That's his name.
Cam.
That's his name. He didn't invite to cookout. NBA player. I couldn't think of his name. Jason Williams.
Okay, I like it. I know who
that boy was cold-blooded. Miners is definitely going to the cookout. He also has.
Could you imagine a cookout with Quinn Miners and Dalton Reisner?
Dude, there'd be no I feel like there'd be no food left within 5 minutes. Like they'd
you're like the best barbecue on the planet.
It's like that scene. It's like that scene. I don't even remember the movie, but their plates are just piled. I think it was the Three Stooges actually. They're plate is piled high, and everybody's just staring. There's no food left. They're just staring, and they're like, "What?" That's what I would see. Glenn says I don't get to go to the cookout. I'm getting a DoorDash gift card. Thanks, bud. Wow.
Hey,
thanks, Isaiah.
I bet the food's so good.
That's true. That's true. You know what?
That's fine.
I'm gonna get DoorDash from Longhorn. All right, right to my Longhorn Steakhouse, right to my door, and I'm gonna enjoy that steak, son. All right. Let's see. Glenn brings, was talking about the Jokic brothers. Mundungus, of course, coming back at you, whatever, 5-head. Talking about how fat. Well, I mean, Mundungus, if the triple XL shirt fits.
I understand Jamal Murray's coming back, but I would love to see Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Jokic, whatever.
The joke.
And
Luka
Doncic,
you can't remember it. You can't remember it. Just do what the rest of the NBA does and call him the Joker.
Or do what every smart man would do and just Google.
There you go.
Yeah,
just call him the Joker.
Him and Luka Doncic on the same team because both of them have great vision.
Dude, what is wrong with you? Doncic, okay. Luka Doncic. Gosh, you and these foreign names, it's sad.
Howard Okawebu now. Got it.
He's got that down. That's the most important thing.
That's all that matters.
Speaking of these names, I know we are so off on these fun tangents, but you know what? It's fine. Speaking of crazy names, this draft class has some of the wildest freaking names I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Jobu.
Jobu and all these other things. I'm like, can you imagine some of these like Chris Collinsworth. No, not Chris Collinsworth. Who was it?
Oh yeah, Chris Collinsworth.
Tiki Barber. When Tiki Barber was calling the Broncos game.
Oh my gosh.
Like, could you imagine him trying to call some of these names? Like,
one of the things that I was always told in broadcasting was when I was, you always have to do research. You always have to do research beforehand. So back when I was in school, I had the privilege of calling games for women's sports, men's sports.
I called women's college basketball when I was in college.
So, but before you stepped on a court, you had to read through the guide, and luckily they were able to give a pronunciation guide. And if you actually didn't know how to pronounce the person's name, you go up to the statistician or you go up to someone from that particular team and you say, hey, how do you pronounce this person's name? Like,
you ask.
It literally takes 5 freaking minutes to actually do something like this. And you actually have people way more qualified, way more professional in their type of business who are not naming names, but Kevin Harlan and, Trent Green. But I mean, like you have people that are like completely baffling on, and to be fair, the name is hard, but it's just like, again, you're put in that business to learn those types of names. And so to rattle off for 2 weeks straight a name like Albert Okabuku or like Albert Okabukum.
Okabukum. Tiki like, Barber called him Okabukum.
Yeah, or
he literally said Albert Okabukum.
And that's
I almost fell out of my chair. I was laughing.
You didn't even try.
And that's why I laugh with Madden this year, because it's like they sometimes they don't even try with Albert Okawebanam. They actually just say what is it, Alberto. They just keep it short. They just go Alberto.
I mean, we've got smart. At least
we got some breaking news on Twitter, guys.
Okay, hang on real quick. So, Glenn's talking about pronunciation, and this is exactly how I tell people to pronounce my last name, because I hate it when they mispronounce it.
Yeah, it's pronounced
the sound a sheep makes, and what you unlock your door with. Ba-key.
All right, Isaiah, what's breaking news? What's the breaking news?
Breaking news. We have someone else just jumped into the race to buy the Broncos. Donda Sports wants to buy the Broncos.
Donda Sports.
Yes, the owner of Donda Sports is Antonio Brown. I'm not even joking.
I love how Cam and I literally are sitting here in complete and utter silence.
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. It's
I'm not even feeling that. I'm not even feeling that.
So he's going to enter into.
Oh Lord.
He says he tweeted. AB tweeted. Donda Sports wants to buy the Broncos. Who's with me?
Listen, that's not breaking news. That's comical.
And then the first comment was like, the fans will pay you to not buy the Broncos.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Avatar comes back for you, Cam. Cam, he's coming for you. Coming with you. He's saying he's really liking Kale McCarr and Nazem Kadri this season on the Abs, and I'm with him. I focus I focus on the Denver Broncos, like you said. I mean, I'm not local anymore. I haven't lived in the Denver area since I was 18, and that's
you're not local
years ago. Huh?
So you're not local?
Well, not right now. I mean, I'm from there. I was born there, but I moved away when I was 18. Now. Shut up, Cam. Anyway, yeah. But like I was saying, I have Jokic's jersey like literally right there above me, and I've got Nathan McKinnon's right there.
Yeah.
I love my Colorado sports, although I will admit, as far as baseball goes, I'm not a Rockies fan.
Well, that's.
But I mean, then again, we are talking about the Rockies, so
that's
I don't feel
that's understandable. and for my sake, I'm Colorado sports all the way through until we get to college football, and then that's when I'm a big time Nebraska Cornhuskers fan. So
so you and Mundungus on the same.
I'm actually going to the spring game this year, so. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be fun.
To head down there.
One team definitely to watch out for.
If you say LA Kings, we're just done.
No, the Miami Dolphins. That's definitely a team to watch out for.
I mean,
they had some momentum at the end of the year, and they got some good coaches lined up. So
is this recency bias, Isaiah?
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes.
All right. So hey. Let's talk. Isaiah brought up the breaking news
Yeah.
Of the
Donda Sports is owned by Kanye West, and apparently Antonio Brown's the president of it or whatever.
Oh
boy.
Lord.
Oh boy.
No, I'm out.
So Kanye West, I think Kanye West can actually
I'm out on that one.
get the money together by the Broncos.
I want to talk a little bit.
Would you be a Broncos fan if Kanye West owned the Broncos? Because
I would be a Broncos fan no matter what. I will always be a Broncos fan. I can't believe you would even ask that question.
he would destroy the organization. I mean,
Kanye or Antonio Brown? Because I feel like
it doesn't matter.
I don't think those two should be together.
Either one, but I mean, like, could you see like keeping up with the Kardashians Broncos edition? Like, no, I'm done. I'm out.
If he did, we definitely get a Hard Knocks. We would never see the players. It'd be all about Kanye.
It'd be all about Kanye. I mean, and Kim. Could you imagine Kim walking out on the field? Kim K walking out on the field.
They're divorced.
They're not
together. They're divorced.
Wow. See, that shows how much I care about Kanye and Kim K. I had no idea.
Kanye. That would be a mess. I couldn't. He would try to interject, and I know. And plus, I don't think the NFL. You have to get 30% of the owners.
Glenn says Antonio Brown doesn't pay his cook. He's definitely not paying the Broncos or the Bowling.
He doesn't pay his cook?
I don't know. I mean, that's what he says.
Well,
I mean, wasn't that you, Johnny, that told me he didn't pay? Who was it that told me he went to I think my dad told me.
That was not me.
One of childhood friends that grew up, he holds a receiver camp. And Antonio, a lot of the NFL players go to it, and Antonio Brown went to it, and all the guys that went donated to it. Just giving some money here, we appreciate it. He's not asking for money, but they donated. Antonio Brown just showed up, worked out, and left. I mean,
how do we? And the thing that just turns me off is just like Kanye West and Antonio Brown are so unstable. How do we know that like they would even remain ownership? Sure, like they might like. Let's just. I hate to actually put this in the crystal ball, but like let's just say they own the Denver Broncos. How do we know that like they wake up the next morning and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah,
or they make some massive change. Like, George Payton, you're fired. Antonio Brown's going to be the new GM.
Well, no, I just meant like they themselves like pull themselves out and just be like, no, I'm out.
This is what it was. The one that narked Antonio Brown not having his vaccine card was his chef.
How does your chef know that?
Dude,
are you just blabbing information?
All right, no, you have a private chef. You are rich. Let's pretend something that's never going to happen is you're rich.
Yes, inflation is the son of a gun.
Yes, that's true. You're rich. You have a personal chef. Now think about this. If a personal chef is in your home for every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day.
I'm drooling right now, Johnny.
I'm sorry. I know. I wish.
Keep going.
Anyway. They're in your house all day long, every single day. They hear things. Think about it. Come on. They hear things. So anyway, let's talk about Byron Allen. I want to talk about Byron Allen. All right, where are you going?
All I heard was someone yell door. But
it was his wife.
I think that Byron Allen, he's intriguing. In a sense that he's probably not going to be fully invested in the team, which probably lends to believe that there's probably going to be others involved, like strong others involved along with it. And so, the only thing that was a slight turnoff at times. I mean, like, again, I'm not necessarily in the frame of mind to maybe make an assumption like it, but it's just like, I think that in the original statement that was made, he never made a comment about the Denver Broncos like initially. And so I can understand why a lot of people took some criticism with that, because it's like, here's an example. Like, let's just say you're going to a job interview and you never once mention the job or the team that you're associated with. You just talk about your experience. You just talk about, everything. And you don't necessarily mention the job. You don't mention the company that you're getting ready to work for. I think that could be a little bit of a turnoff, I would imagine. So I think that, overall, I just think that it overall would be a little bit of a turnoff. But it was nice to see him come back and say, no, I've enjoyed the Broncos. I love the Broncos.
That's actually what I was about to say.
And so
I was
that
pulling up this quote by him, because one thing, like when they brought up Robert F. Smith, who, has said, I am not interested.
which is sad, actually.
It actually is. I was kind of hoping for it. I mean, Colorado native, grew up there, has the money in his own pocket, doesn't need a whole group of people around. I'm sure he would still have a group, but I'm just saying, like, he has enough money, he didn't need it. I was hoping for it. It is what it is. Byron Allen, but he never mentioned once really anything about the team. Now, what Byron Allen said about the Broncos, I liked it. And I'm going to quote it, and I'm quoting,
in his second statement. Like this is after his first statement.
Yeah. His second statement, he literally says, "Oh my gosh, I love the Broncos." It was in a phone conversation with 9 News. He says, "Elway, Manning, I love the Broncos. Who doesn't love the Broncos? And I have a great deal of respect for Pat Bowlen. Pat Bowlen was one of the great owners, one of the phenomenal owners. I have enormous respect for him and his family and what they've done for Denver, the state of Colorado, and for the NFL, for the country. And I wouldn't get involved unless I believed I could grow on what they've built."
And that's a fantastic statement. I just wish that he would have said it in the very first statement, not just.
I wish he would have too. I mean, and who knows? He could have just done his research and been like, okay, who's played for the Broncos? John Elway, Peyton Manning. Who's on there before? Pat Bowlen. Okay, I'm gonna make sure Okay. Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't even mean to do
Southport.
Who is that? The principal from Southport.
Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna own this football team, okay?
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go on this football team, okay? Anyway,
I'm getting anxious. I need Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson to say something.
Yeah, we definitely do.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
And apparently, we
have to wait after the Super Bowl. The next news would be Ajiro Evero is hired as the defensive coordinator. That's the
coming.
Next news.
It's coming.
And then also we're gonna hire the special teams coordinator from the Rams as well.
Yes.
Are we?
We are.
Well, I mean, Isaiah, when you hire a assistant special teams coordinator already, what does that tell you?
I must have missed that news.
Well, I mean, we can't hire either of them until after the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. But
if you hire an assistant special teams coordinator, that would lend you to believe that they have their special teams.
They already have their special teams guy in mind,
which is that Brandon Dukes or something like it, or something. Yeah.
Real quick, I want to bring up. I just want to finish on Byron Allen. Basically, from what I read in the article put out by Mike Kliss, he was actually approached by Roger Goodell and the NFL about buying a team back in 2019, if one ever came available, and he's excited that the Broncos is the one that's on the market right now.
So we got a referral from Roger Goodell.
I didn't know you could do that. You can the NFL commissioner go out and actually say, "Hey,
he's the NFL commissioner. He can do whatever the hell he wants."
That doesn't sound right. That
doesn't sound right to me. No, that.
I mean, I'll pull it up real quick.
I mean, he probably did it. It's just
I'm not saying. I agree with Cameron. I'm not saying he did do it. I'm just saying
Goodell confirmed. Allen, in November 20. It was at the Lazard Media. This is from Mike Kliss's article. It was at the Lazard Media and Finance Conference in November 2019 when Allen was approached by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft about becoming an NFL owner the next time a franchise was put up for sale. Goodell confirmed during his Super Bowl press conference Wednesday from LA, where a few minutes earlier, Allen set up to hold his phone conversation with 9 News, that he spoke with Allen at least twice about becoming involved in the process of buying the Broncos. Goodell added there are other black investors he's talked with about possibly bidding on the Broncos. He's looking.
But I think it's weird that wouldn't the team have something to do with it? But you can't just say, "Hey, if there's an open slot, you want to be in the running." I mean,
it has nothing to do with it.
I agree with you.
Zero.
I agree with you, though, Isaiah, because it seems to me like that's a little bit too meddling for me. Like,
yeah, it's too scripted and coordinated.
Because it's just like, I mean, like, and the thing is, if he's qualified, and it ignores every single one of those qualifications or everything that we just said. But it's just like if Goodell's going out of his way and he's saying basically hire this guy, either he was something that he got a phone call from the Broncos saying, "Hey, should we be interested?" It's almost like a job interview, you're going in for a job and you want to call your references. Like the Broncos could have called Goodell and be like, "Hey, should we really be interested in this guy?" If it's something as simple as that, that's fine. But it's just like, if it's just overall just being like, "Hey, this one guy, like you really should hire this guy because
I'd like to make a quick point, and this is from my own observation, and it's not like this is not me hitting a hot take button because that's the one thing we always say hot take. One thing we don't do here is try to hot take.
Hot take.
He said hot take.
Hot topic.
He said it. But no, one thing we try not to do on MHRT is sit there and make ridiculous, hot take, clickbait kind of stuff. We try to steer away from that.
We save that for Boggins.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is Boggins, but sorry, Marcus. Anyway, but no, looking at it like this, one reason I could see why Goodell might approach someone like Byron Allen. Okay, Byron Allen has been in television media for decades. He started out in the 80s as a stand-up comedian, and then he ended up on his own show called Real People. And then he's gone on to buy multiple affiliates across the country for like the big four, CBS, ABC, NBC, all of those. And then he's bought the Weather Channel. This guy is involved in in media and marketing, big time.
Right.
Successful.
He'll definitely be a candidate for Hard Knocks, but Jay brings up a good point. And the reason why I agree with Cameron is because it's kind of a bias. If Jay says the owners club needs to approve the new owner, I doubt it'd be truly, because I mean, if you have the highest bidder and they just say no until they get to the guy they want and say yes, that's kind of like.
Well, we saw that with the Clippers. It's like we saw that with the LA Clippers. What, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, but that wasn't going for that. But that's also wasn't going for $4 billion at that time.
No, but what I'm saying is like multiple guys won the bid, and the LA Clippers, then they got voted out by the sitting members of the NBA. Owners.
I understand the owners of other teams having a say so, saying, "Hey, you're coming into the NFL community with us. Right. We want to see if you're up to par. If you're going to give us a good name, that makes sense." But to go out proactively, the NFL commissioner to go out proactively on behalf of another team, and especially if the NFL commissioner is not part of the day-to-day basis of the team.
If Roger Goodell is approaching a media mogul to be an owner, I think it's truly Roger Goodell trying to buy into the interest of having a media mogul run a team. Like Pat Bowlen, and you look back at Pat Bowlen, you look back at Jerry Jones. The two of them together built the NFL into what it is as far as television is today.
No, agree.
I'm not saying Byron's not a good candidate. I'm saying why is Roger Goodell proactively looking? Because what if, for example, the front office of the Broncos do not like Byron Allen? Now you'd have recruited this guy and said, hey, the next time a team opens up, it doesn't matter. It could have been the Chargers for all we know that opened up.
Right.
Any team that opens up, hey, you want to come in and put your hat in the ring? Like, just because you and Robert Kraft approach this dude doesn't mean the Death Valley wants this dude. That's why I don't like them. I don't like the
one thing I will say though is that like the Broncos themselves don't necessarily have a say because it's going to go to the highest bidder. So it could still go to Byron Allen. It's just the thing is he's going to have to
and his group.
And that's the thing is like it's going to have to go to his group because I think his overall worth is $450 million.
$450 million, which but he's got what is it?
Hundreds of networks.
So he's going to have to generate a whole bunch of people in his network.
Fluid, yeah. The principal owner in the group, the one that's going to have the highest majority, from what I understand, from what I've been made to understand, it has to be have at least 30% of the fluid value of the team. And like $450 million, that's a lot of money. Byron Allen's got a lot of money. $450 million is a lot of freaking money. I'd give for $450.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money, but it's in the grand scheme of things.
He's not putting that up.
Right, but in the grand scheme of things, $450 million is nothing in compared to the $4 billion.
30% of the fluid, 30% is how
and actually take it back, like maybe not even $4 billion, maybe even like $5 billion, depending on how long that bidding goes. It's just like
between 4 to 4.5.
I don't.
He won't even be putting in the primary percentage.
I will say, I don't necessarily think he's a serious candidate, but at the same time, but I think that with the fact that things are now starting to roll in, and but I think that a lot of these different candidates are starting to roll in, and I think what are we at, like 5 now? Is where we're at, like 4 or 5 now,
What I don't want is I don't want an owner who's just a face. Because I mean, if you're approaching with $450 million as a net worth, you're not putting in your whole net worth.
I'm going to step out for just a second. I'll be right back.
You're going to have other financial investment firms with you who are going to be shareholders. And
exactly.
just something beholden to investment firms and shareholders kind of just rubs me the wrong way. I would like a person maybe who can't not necessarily puts up all their money or has enough to do it at once, but someone that can go like, I own 40% of the Broncos. The rest of my team owns 60, whatever the case may be, because $4 billion is a lot of money for someone to put up themselves. But to have $450 million and then go get a team of people that want to invest in, so now you answer to them and all this stuff. And sometimes the decisions you make as an owner with profits trickles down. Which is what Big E is saying. He says, I don't know, but I'll tell you the biggest reason I don't like it. I don't like the owner that will have to borrow money to buy it, and then he starts penny pitching to start paying players. Yeah, because if, say, for example, ticket sales don't go up, jersey sales don't go up, you don't like one season, you decide I want to get rid of George Payton for whatever reason, or the coaches, or you want to change, or whatever the case may be. You just don't like something, and, you try to interject yourself into it, and all of a sudden now you got a penny pinch and not pay players because, you're not meeting the payments.
The important thing when it comes to this ownership is, in the grand scheme of things, and I mentioned this a little bit before on the MHRT network and the show, is just like the important thing for the new owner or a new ownership group that comes in, not tarnish the Bowlen legacy, but in the meantime, still be able to put your input and create your footprint as far as everything that you want to do while still maintaining that Bowlen legacy. And so if they could be able to do a lot of that, I think you will be appealing to a lot of different Broncos fans and new Broncos fans even with that. And so I think I think that that's going to be the fascinating thing with this ownership. And because I think that I don't necessarily know if this whole Peyton Manning thing is still true, but it's just like we're also still in this very new phase. So you are going to get some new names that are out there. And I think it would be a little bit interesting to see maybe even some popular names be thrown in there, or just even speculated, like maybe like a Mark Cuban or just something like along the lines of, I don't know. The thing is, like, if Jeff Bezos actually like enters his name into the ring and just says, I would love to buy the Denver Broncos, then I think it's safe to assume. I think it's safe to assume.
Just give a blank check and said, "Write what you want. I don't care."
Yeah, he would basically.
But I don't want an outsider because like you said with the Bowlen name, if you have a new owner coming in that's not necessarily a Broncos fan or a Colorado native, that somebody's like, "Hey, never owned a sports team. I have the money. Guess I own a sports team." The second they come in, they don't care about the Bowlen family. They don't care about their legacy. They're like, "Hey, now I own a team. I put this on my resume. Now it's time for me to." See if I can put an imprint on it. And it's not just a balance of balancing the Broncos name and the legacy of the Bowlen family and imprinting their own name. It's just, hey, I'm here. Let me see what I can do. I'd like a Colorado native or somebody that's with.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a lot to ask, bud.
But the thing is too, it doesn't even have to be a Colorado native, just as long as it's someone who understands the importance that was Pat Bowlen and the legacy, and then more importantly, still implementing his thought process and his foundation that he wants to implement.
Right.
Because then at that point you're going to start entertaining a lot of new things, and I think it's a very fair thing that's going to be coming out of this new ownership is, are we finally going to get this opportunity that new jerseys are coming in? And so I think that that is going to come with some fresh ideas, and it's going to come with some fresh new voice and everything. So that part is exciting. And I will say, to circle back on the local thing, I guess that was a little bit of the appeal with Robert Smith, and it's a little unfortunate that he's not. That he's not. I wish
he was. I really do.
That it was a little bit unfortunate that he pulled out because of the fact he does. Even if it's not like all of that $4 billion, you knew that he was going to be reacting and bringing in a lot of people as a part of a huge group.
As a Colorado native, I'm sure that he would absolutely love, like if he was truly a fan, he'd be more likely to be an actual fan.
Which,
Byron Allen says he is, but
I will say that also at times could be a huge negative as far as being an owner.
Yeah, it could be.
Because if you're going in it strictly as a fan, then that can really guide you, or guide you or block you.
Orange lenses, as
all
of us in the media will put it.
You remove your business vision and put your fan vision on. So I can definitely agree with that. I'm just
I like the pen in your fingers there, Isaiah. It looks all professional. Like you do this and that. So,
but yeah, it's
Dreamweaver, my cousin Jay, he brings it up. The way you present the funds is just as important as the figure itself. Didn't the Panthers go to a cleaner offer instead of the most money? I believe that's what happened, but I can't remember exactly. I don't know for sure, Jay. I'll look into it though. I'll look into it and get back to you because you're my cousin. I have your phone number. I'll just call you. So, guys, I feel like we've kind of beat this ownership situation to death for
coaches,
for now. Coaches. Well, actually, I wanted us to go ahead and get trapped by the Matrix once again. But I don't know what you think. Are you guys ready to plug in?
I'm ready.
Let's plug in.
All right, let's plug into the Matrix, boys. Enter the Mile High Matrix. What's up, guys? All right, you guys ready to do some orange pill, blue pill here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You gave first last week, Isaiah, so I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. All right? Now, it took me – I called you this morning, Isaiah. Remember, I couldn't think of a dang thing to bring up this week in the orange for Mile High Matrix. But I finally got something that I think is kind of fun, kind of different. Little bit weird, but it'll be fun. So, in the spirit of Super Bowl 56 coming up in 3 days on Sunday, and keeping in mind that when I'm giving these options, this isn't in light of trades or in light of being able to make the money work. Okay, this is just like you take the pill. This is what happens. All right. So, in one hand, on the orange, you take the orange pill, and this all has to do with skill positions of the two teams in the Super Bowl this week. All right. You take the orange pill, and instantly, Cooper Kupp is a member of the Broncos. Cooper Kupp of the LA Rams. You take the blue pill, and it's Joe Mixon of the Cincinnati Bengals. Which pill do you instantly a member of the Broncos? Which pill do you take? Orange pill or blue pill? Cam, let's start with you since it's your first Mile High Matrix.
It's a tough one. Cooper Kupp inserted himself into the MVP conversation. That's very rapidly. And he also asserted himself as almost wide receiver one this year. He's a guy that really came onto the scene and had a tremendous season. A guy that if he's not up for the top 5 or top 3 MVP voting, he should be. He and Jonathan Taylor. That said, even if you look at Joe Mixon. John Mixon. Joe Mixon has really created a name for himself as far as being one of the more underrated running backs in the National Football League. He can really do it all. He's a guy that can run between the tackles. He's a guy that gets better as the game goes on. He's a guy that you can absolutely rely on when the chips are down. I mean, he put together quite a few 150-yard games this year for the Cincinnati Bengals as far as carrying a load. So he is more than capable and has shown to be more than capable as far as being that type of back. And it's a very hard question to answer because, on one hand, you have a receiving core that is absolutely dynamic for this Denver Broncos team with everything that they have currently constructed. And then with the running back room, and when you have the running back room and where things are currently constructed, led by Pookie's cousin, Javonte Pookie Williams. I mean, it is a
and
very,
still Melvin Gordon, technically.
Allegedly, he's a free agent, but I mean,
he's coming back. He's coming back.
I know. He said we, but he's kind of a free agent.
I think he's coming back.
But anyway,
that's okay.
But I think that because of the fact that there is that wiggle room, that we have no idea whether or not Melvin Gordon is coming back, I'm taking the Joe Mixon pill. I'm taking the Mixon pill.
All right, so Cam is blue pill. Isaiah, orange pill, Cooper Kupp, blue pill, Joe Mixon. Who do you have?
I was gonna say Cooper Kupp, but now that you mentioned that Melvin Gordon's a free agent, it's unsure, and we talked about Jerry Judy being equally as good as Cooper Kupp with the right quarterback. I am going to go with Joe Mixon. Or I was hesitant to say that, but honestly, Cooper Kupp has better hands as of right now. He also has a better quarterback, but Jerry Judy, I don't think Jerry Judy's a better route runner, creates better separation. He's quicker, he's faster. He just needs to get the ball to him. He definitely has the potential to be better than Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in the league, and Jerry Judy has the potential to be better. So, but I am going to go with the Joe Mixon, Javonte Williams running back tandem, because I mean, where would you put Cooper Kupp? I mean, I was thinking the same thing.
Mr. Worldwide, dude, you look like Pitbull. I didn't even realize
that's Cameron's nickname.
Pitbull. I'm down with it. Mr. Worldwide. Dude, this is wild. That's hysterical. Anyway, Mr. Worldwide. Oh man.
It's good to see that
next time you're on, you got to sing Shake Senora. You have to.
It's good to see that Isaiah is a follower and not a leader, though. It's good to see
right. Right. See, because I'm going the opposite.
Why? Give us a logistic reason why you're going Cooper Kupp, honestly.
Okay. Well, first, I believe I'm one of those that believes you can never have too many wide receivers. I don't believe you can have too many wide receivers. I mean, we saw that. I mean, KJ Hamler, great, fantastic, dynamic receiver for this team, especially he's our speed demon. That's what he does. That's what he is there for. But you saw he got hurt. You put those back up. he got hurt, and he was out for the whole season. And then Cortland Sutton gets hurt, and we've seen it where our entire wide receiver core has been just decimated at one point or another. And what Cooper Kupp has accomplished just so fast, I think it's going to be more valuable to the team right now, immediately, to have that another absolutely phenomenal dynamic wide receiver. So I go Cooper Kupp. I absolutely love what I've seen out of him. I absolutely love what I've seen out of him. So we have 2-1 orange pill, blue pill on this. So let's jump into the comments real quick. Avatar taking the orange pill. He wants Cooper Kupp with me.
I can see that, but Cooper Kupp's not as fast as KJ. But
EJ says I'm not talking about. I wasn't talking about Cooper Kupp's speed. I was just talking about how the logistics of how your wide receiver room gets decimated. You can never have too many wide receivers.
You just have 2 Jerry Judys or 2 Cooper Kupps. Basically.
Sure, we have 2 Cortland Suttons. The other guy's name is Tim Patrick. I'm just saying. All
right.
So that's what I'm saying. So we've got several saying orange pill, several saying blue pill. This time we didn't sweep this week on the first one, Isaiah, like we did last week.
Yeah.
So right. I'll flip it on you guys now.
All right.
We'll go orange pill, Joe Burrow. Let's go Super Bowl quarterbacks.
Super Bowl quarterbacks.
Orange pill is Matt Stafford, the guy that George Payton tried to inquire on this offseason. Okay. Orange pill is Matt Stafford. Blue pill is Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Orange pill.
Matt Stafford led the league in interceptions.
Both of us take blue pill on that.
Matt Stafford led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Matt Stafford has become away from the Detroit Lions. It's very exciting. It's what he's deserved. I mean, the poor guy being trapped in Detroit for 12 years. I mean, that's
right to the Super Bowl.
That's so sad. And you get to see what 1 year removed from being trapped in the Lions' den. He's finally out, and we see what he's become with a different team. It's fantastic for him. I love him and I'm excited for him. But I feel like Joe Burrow is going to be that guy. He's already he's so young. He's so fresh.
So young.
Already there. And he's gonna just keep on going, man.
My man's Joe Burrow had
go Blue Pill.
in 2 games he had 1,000 passing yards. I think one game he had like 500.
There's
He had the second
not-
most passing yards in one game, and then like 400 something the next.
Right.
So I mean, with the youth, you give him a good offensive line. That's what he's missing. You give him a good offensive line. Somebody said he could be the next Tom Brady.
Ooh.
I don't want to say that yet, but I can see why they're saying that.
I can see why they're saying
Matthew
it.
I
Stafford.
think there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
Well, what would you take, Cam? We both said Blue.
I think that there is a very strong argument why Matt Stafford could be a choice.
All right.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
So
He puts up numbers.
Count
Matt Stafford's put up
your argument.
numbers. Matt Stafford's put up numbers every single season he's played.
He is. They don't call him Matt what is it? Statford. You know, like Pat Stafford. You know, for nothing, because he's been one of the better fantasy quarter. You know, but there's 2 reasons, and that is that he does put up numbers, but 2, when he left in that trade, in the Jared Goff trade, to the Los Angeles Rams, he went to as difficult of a division as the AFC West.
Agreed.
And
definitely the most stacked division in the NFC.
I would say close to the NFL.
I'd say in the NFL.
And so between the NFC West and the AFC West, you're looking at 2 of the top divisions in football, and
they are the toughest.
And if you look at it from the standpoint of what Matt Stafford did in that division, going up against Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and Jimmy Garoppolo, and at times Trey Lance. I mean,
it was Jimmy G, but you know,
and who went to the NFC Championship?
Who went to the
end? Aaron Rodgers. So
I mean,
I'm sorry, I disagree. Jimmy G was not responsible for them being in the NFC Championship.
He was the quarterback when they went to the NFC Championship.
D'Amico Ryan is 100% responsible. For
I'm just saying that if and that was his very first season with the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
So that is a very huge argument that is in favor of Matt Stafford when you look at it from the standpoint of Matt Stafford coming here. And then let's not make no bones about it. Matt Stafford is a distributor of the football.
True.
Yes.
Joe Burrow is also a distributor of the football, but he's got a little bit more mobility to him. He can play within the pocket and everything, as does Matt Stafford. But
he's tough too.
But Stafford is truly a quarterback distributor. You put him in that type of offense that the Denver Broncos have, you're talking about arguably the numbers that Aaron Rodgers could have been putting up with the Denver Broncos if Aaron Rodgers was a Denver Broncos.
I think Matthew Stafford is more of a distributor because he's got that experience. And I think Joe Burrow's still young, even though he's in the Super Bowl, his second year coming off a horrific injury. And Joe Burrow has Cincinnati has the worst offensive line. The Rams have the best offensive line. So I think I agree with you, Cam. You put Matthew Stafford behind the best offensive line in the NFL. I mean, you got guys like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady playing in years into it because, 1, they stay healthy. 2, because when you have a great quarterback like that, the investment that you always put in is always the offensive line. You keep those guys healthy, and when you put Matthew Stafford in the best,
I just want to point out.
NFL,
I just want to point out real quick. I'm sorry, Joe Burrow is so tough too. Like a statistic that I actually got today. I saw today for the first time. He is the most sacked quarterback to play in a Super Bowl in history.
He had 9 sacks against the Titans.
I mean, he's getting his butt handed to him. Over these
9 sacks, the Titans sacked him 9 times.
Over the season, he has got his butt handed to him on a silver platter, and yet here he is. He's in the Super Bowl.
That's what I said.
Offensive line.
The Bengals have the worst offensive line, and the Rams have the best offensive line. So now the Bengals are easily going to draft.
But we got to move. We got to roll. We got to keep rolling because Isaiah still has to give his. The comment stream seems to be so. Cam takes orange pill. Right, Matt Stafford, Isaiah and I both took blue pill. Joe Burrow. Looks like the stream is kind of keeping up with us. We got blue pill. Munduga says blue pill. Avatar says blue pill. Dave Glassman says Burrow for youth, easy peasy. But Adon is coming back at us with Matt Stafford, so he's taking the orange pill. Broncos Breakdown's taking the blue pill. Glenn Hauser's taking the blue pill. Seems like the blue pill kind of won out in the comments.
It's just recency bias. That's all.
Recency bias.
I think it's just the youth.
Don't be so salty.
I think it's just the youth because if you put Joe Burrow, I mean the Broncos had a top 10 offensive line. You put Joe Burrow with a better offensive line, he's going to tear you apart.
The
he's
point
going to pick you apart.
I'm sorry, I got to pull it up. I have to. Mundungus says, I love how we keep talking about all these teams that are loaded with talent, but none of them compare to what the Broncos roster has.
Rams have a better roster.
Not wrong. The only thing the Broncos are missing, quarterback.
I will say I think the only team that has a better roster than the Broncos is the Rams. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr.
I think they're good. I think they're really good, and I think you put you get a good quarterback in Denver. We are right there with them, baby.
I agree. No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying the Rams have a better roster.
So let's move on. We have one last. We're already an hour 21 minutes. I'm having fun. Isaiah, would you or Agent Henderson? Would you please, Agent Pookie? Would you please present us with your orange pill, blue pill choices?
I just changed my orange pill, blue pill now.
Well, we'll go do it then.
Aaron Rodgers on the Broncos, Matthew Stafford on the Rams. Who has a better roster?
Are we talking?
Orange pill, Aaron Rodgers and the Broncos, blue pill, Rams and Matthew Stafford.
All right, well that's fitting.
You said orange pill for Rodgers and blue pill for.
Orange pill is Rodgers and Broncos.
Orange lens is on or off. I say orange pill.
It's without a doubt Aaron Rodgers. For the exact same argument that I said Matthew Stafford is the right choice for the Denver Broncos. Because if you have an elite distributor of the football, you are talking about a guy that is going to put up elite football numbers with an elite offensive roster to go along with a well-coached defense. So without question, it is Aaron Rodgers. And as far as I'm concerned, it is Matthew Stafford with that other choice for that exact same reason.
Look, Matt Stafford has done a phenomenal job on the Rams.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Let me ask this question then.
All right.
Put Matthew Stafford on the Broncos and put Aaron Rodgers on the Rams.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably still a much better situation than what Matt Stafford, and Matt Stafford is still in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you're still probably talking about the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl.
So my question was not if they went head-to-head, who'd win.
So Aaron Rodgers is true.
Who has the better roster
on this choice?
And you say the Broncos have the better roster.
Overall, the Broncos have the better roster.
Okay.
Overall, yes.
Overall, but I mean,
Aaron Rodgers is a better pass distributor, is a better distributor of the ball than Matt Stafford every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So it doesn't matter which, you put him on orange pill, blue pill in this situation. If you put Aaron Rodgers in that situation, he's going to be better either way because of how much more elite he is than Matt Stafford, just complete.
Okay, so last thing, let's break it down. Cortland Sutton is equal to OBJ.
Oh wait, Mundungus has a hot take. He said hot take.
So
I've got to hit it. I got to hit the button. I have to.
Cortland Sutton versus OBJ
says Rodgers with this offense is better than the 2013 Manning in the Broncos.
That's a hot take?
That's not a hot take at all.
No, that's not a hot take.
That is accurate. Fully accurate. So
go shave your head, Mundungus.
Yeah.
All right. So Avatar says he's got to get going. Great show. We love you, Avatar. We'll see you next week, my friend. So anyway, Isaiah, you never gave us yours. Both Cam and I said.
All I heard was Sutton.
Yeah.
I was saying OBJ versus Cortland Sutton. Jerry Judy versus Tim Patrick. Jerry Judy versus Cooper Kupp. Tim Patrick versus Robert Woods. Cam Akers versus Javonte Williams.
I'm sorry.
I think Javonte Williams is the better running back.
Long story short, I'm taking the Broncos core of the LA Rams.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Yep, absolutely.
I'm going Rams. I'm the only one, but I'm gonna go Rams.
You're gonna go blue. So Cam and I
both. The only reason why is because I played against Robert Woods in high school, and I know that speed he's got. Broncos have better tight ends. No, I'm gonna switch and go Broncos because the Broncos have the better tight end and the better running back.
You're so biased.
Right, they do.
You're so biased.
You're so biased.
No, it's accurate. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. It's accurate. It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
So, the orange pill, you've switched, Isaiah, at the last second before you decided to stay in the Matrix.
I'm a drug addict
and took the orange pill. So we've swept. It seems like we have absolutely swept an orange pill on Isaiah. So thank you all for joining us for another Mile High Matrix. We're gonna go ahead and unplug real quick. There we go, guys. That is the Mile High Matrix. We are going to do this every week, so get ready and get excited and have fun with it. Cam, thank you for joining us this week on Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. Dude, it's been hard. We got to give him some real applause here. Here we go. It's been awesome having you back on the show, my friend. Like you are a true friend of the show. You are a true friend to us. I love talking with you on Twitter. If you have not already, go follow Cam on @CameronParkerPO. Correct? Cameron Parker PO on Twitter.
No underscores, no asterisks. Thankfully, no asterisks.
That's how much I love you. I know your Twitter handle by heart, just like that.
If you don't have my Twitter name memorized by heart, we can't be friends. I'm sorry.
Well, I do. Cameron Parker PO. It's that easy.
It's kind of like memorizing a phone number.
So NRW crew, if you have not already followed Cam on Twitter, please jump on over, search him @Cameron Parker PO on Twitter. All right. Thank you for joining us. I am Johnny Baki @Broncos_Viking on Twitter. Over there, my best friend Isaiah Henderson @Nothing_Rhymes_ on Twitter, also known as Pookie Night. We thank you guys for joining us for another awesome episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. Please do not miss our other shows.
Cameron Parker.
Sorry, that came out of nowhere. Mr. Boggins coming in trying to.
It's actually Cameron Parkour. Get it right, Boggins.
Parkour. That's great. .edu. What does the PO mean, Cam? Dave wants to know.
It is predominantly. It is. It is predominantly orange. I just decided to shorten it for predominantly orange, and it is just something. Obviously, with the site that I write for, the site predominantly orange, and like I said, I did an article over there about the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft class.
Yeah. I read it. It was a great article. So make sure you also jump on over to Predominantly Orange and check out Cameron's article. It dropped on Monday, right?
It dropped on Monday, and unless you guys want me to spoil who the top 5 is right now, then feel free to read it. Read the article.
Check out the article.
Go read the article, y'all.
Get me paid.
Hit those thumbs up.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for joining. Hit those thumbs up. Mundungus says thank you again for joining us for another episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast on MHRT Network. Hit that thumbs up. Give us that like. Come on, guys. It's that simple. It's a one quick click. It takes you no time to do. Click it. All right. Like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell so that every time MHRT Network goes live, you know it and you're ready to go live with us. Do not miss our other shows on Tuesday, the flagship podcast, MHRT Podcast, with Mundungus Creevy, Mr. Boggins, Glenn Hauser. This next Tuesday, it's going to be Bree on the show with the rest of the guys. And we also, most episodes, it's going to be our buddy up in Canada, Richie Richey. Also, we are dropping each week on Wednesdays, Broncos Breakdown with Bronco Bill. Do not miss his show. It's a lot of fun. He's got some fun insight. He's very, very passionate. We love you, Bill. And we are very excited once again to welcome you to MHRT. Welcome. So, that being said, it is time for our favorite part of the show. Guys, are you guys ready to do the Mile High Five with me?
I am.
Let's do it.
Let's do this thing. Here we go. But get those hands out. Get ready. If high five is high above your head as you Isaiah, put that hand out.
Scratching my eyebrow. Excuse me.
No,
I'll tell it to wait
absolutely
next
wrong.
time.
Priorities. Here we go.
Next time.
My high five. Yes. Thank you, Broncos country. Thank you, NRW crew. And thank you, MHRT fam. We will see you next week on Thursday. And we are out of here.